Hi everyone, I'm Miss Delicious and I'm here today to talk about a book. Not just one book, but a series of 5 books that were made by Olly Pike, a guy who wants to promote LGBT education through primary schools across the United Kingdom. It's 5 books for £25 and it's called Pop and Olly on popandolly.com. I'll find more information will be available on my page. So, I want to share the first story I have got here with you today, which is a story called Prince Henry by Olly Pike. So sit comfortably and get ready to listen to the sound of my voice. Here we go. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a young prince called Henry. He lived in a big castle with his parents, who were the king and queen. Henry loved being a prince. It was awesome. He got to do a lot of cool, exciting things, like riding fire-breathing dragons and rescuing lots of woodlands animals. He even got to attend lots of royal parties, but Henry found it more fun to sneak out of them. Henry didn't know many people, but the people he did know, he cared for very much. One of these people was his faithful servant, Thomas. Thomas had been the prince's servant a long time and they had become very good friends. They did everything together. They shared the same interests, and Thomas was always there to help Prince Henry with his royal duties, or at least help him to get out of them. Thomas did not own much, nor did he have a lot of money. But Henry cared for Thomas so much that he would often share his wealth with him and surprise him with ridiculous cool gifts. Now Henry's father and mother believed the time had come for Henry to marry. They were very keen to find someone special for their only son to spend his life with. So the king sent out a secret invitation to all the royal princes and princesses in the land, inviting them to the kingdom so that Henry could choose one of them to marry. And the invitation said, "Dear Prince, Princess, I hereby cordially invite you to our kingdom so that our son may choose his future husband or wife." A few days later, Henry was awoken by a huge buzz of noise beneath his bedroom window. He sleepily climbed out of bed and opened the curtains. Wow! Prince Harry could hardly believe his eyes. Princes and princesses. Hundreds of them. It was quite an impressive sight. Look at all the people. Henry couldn't get ready quick enough. He had to know why they were all here. Thomas helped the prince get ready. Henry thanked him and then dashed outside. Hello everyone, welcome to our kingdom, said Henry to the excited crowd. I hope you don't mind me asking, but what are you all doing here? The crowd all looked very puzzled, and then came one voice. It was Henry's father. "They are here, my son, so that you can choose one of them to marry and spend your life with. I invited them here for you." Henry paused and thought for a moment. He realized that his father was trying to do something nice for him, so he replied, "Thank you, father. That was very thoughtful of you. I'm sure these are all lovely people, but I already know who I want to spend my life with." "You do? How wonderful," says the king. "Yes," said Henry, "I wish to marry Thomas." "What?" said the king. Thomas started to turn red. He had liked Henry for a very long time, but did not realize that the prince felt the same way. The king started to turn red too, but for a very different reason. He was angry. "But you can't marry Thomas! He's your servant! That is against our law and our tradition. A prince can only marry another prince or princess. Thomas is poor and you are rich. You are not equal." "Oh," said Henry. "Well, in that case, I do not want to be a prince anymore." The king and everyone was shocked. "I'm sorry, father. I love you very much, but I must be allowed to marry the person of my choice. If I cannot, then I do not want to be a prince any longer. You may not think we are equal because I'm rich and Thomas is poor, but we are. We all are. Every human being, no matter how rich or poor, or different or similar, we are all worth the exact same. We are all priceless," said Henry confidently. "I want to spend my life with someone whom I love and who I know will make me very happy." That's if he wants me to spend his life with me. That's if he wants to spend the life with me. At this point, Thomas didn't think his cheeks could get any redder, but they did. The king's anger quickly faded after hearing his son speak, and he started to cry. Henry's speech had made him very proud. "My dear boy, please forgive me. No one has ever told me this before, and I can now see how much you love Thomas. All I really want is for you to be happy. After all, that is what is important." The king then hugged his son, and his son hugged him back. And with that, the king ripped the royal law into 100 pieces and threw them into the sky. The crowd of princes and princesses cheered, and everyone was very happy. "So," said Henry, returning his crown to his head, "what do you say, Thomas?" And Henry took him by the hand. "Will you marry me?" Now it was Thomas' turn to think. He thought very carefully. He looked at Henry, smiled, and said, "No." "No?" repeated Henry. "No?" questioned Henry's parents. "No," gasped the crowd. "No," confirmed Thomas. "Or rather, not yet," he continued. "We've got too many adventures ahead of us yet. We have dragons to ride, woodland animals to save, and lots of parties to sneak out of. Why must we rush? We are already happy." "You are right as always," said Henry as he hugged Thomas. "And who knows," said Thomas, "perhaps in 1 year or 5 or even 10, maybe, just maybe, I'll ask you." Some years later, on a day that was good, a small crowd did gather in a space in the wood. They watched a young couple celebrate their love. By wedding each other, they'd put it off long enough. One was a prince and the other was not. But which one was which, it was soon forgot. For they were so in love, their tale needed no sequel. Once thought of as different, but their love was always equal. And that's them getting married. Isn't that a beautiful story? I hope you enjoyed Prince Henry by Olly Pike, and I've got 4 more stories for you to read soon. And have a look at popandolly.com. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.